Greetings everyone, please come on, make sure everything's set on up. Of course, YouTube thumbnail did not up to date again. Looks like everything's booted on up. Give me a moment to activate live chat windows. And looks like that's all good. And looks like everything's good to go. So let's go get started. Let's see, first replay I have on the list is this one. Not that one. That map is filled with a lot of dead area. And let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. As well on the south side is the green the Beast, we got Greyfield Guy. As well on the north side is the Dark Grey Hawk Siler SK. This map is a 2-base map. I should probably mention what the COs are, because there's always some balance changes here and there. Standard boarding cost, 2 radius, 30, 70, 120, 120 maximum energy. He provides plus 10% offense, plus 10% defense. For his power, does apply the Black Wave effect, and for his superpower, applies Black Storm. You know as well, the Black Storm does cost 100 energy, not 120, so you can save some energy left over. The Beast is, of course, technically a custom CO in Days of Ruin or Tiny Wars. Standard boarding cost, 3, 30, 60, 60. All units get plus 10, plus 10. All special units, which are classified as infantry, mechs, bikes, recons, and flares, get additional 20% offense. And any unit of those special units that ends their turn in the seal zone on top a opponent's property, you get to steal that income immediately, and your opponent just simply doesn't get that income to that next turn. He has both a power and superpower, both cost 60. Of course, got the plus 10, plus 10, plus 20% offense, and the special units also get plus 2 movement range, tough plus vision, and see through hiding places. And of course, able to raid all your opponent's properties globally as well. Superpower is plus 10, plus 10, plus 20% offense. All special units can end their turn on any property, yours, neutral, or your opponent's property. You get the triple amount of income, paid for it immediately, and of course denies income for the next 3 turns. So you can actually end your turn on your own properties just to pay forward to, say, build some units immediately. So it can be useful against yourself, against nobody, and against your opponent. So let's get started, actually. This map is a 2-base map, 1 airport, 1 temporary airport in the center. And of course, both players do start out with a carrier off in the corner, which is quite nice. Carriers do offer the valuable seaplane. Expensive for what it does, but it's very good what it does. And that's basically the effective versus everything. The only thing it's not effective against is submerged submarines. Couple more infantry. So just early capturing game. The Beast could eye for some bikes this turn, though he is a CO that does work with recons. Oh, base skip tank. He may load himself with that tank there. Will of course just get plus 10, plus 10, not to mention the max veterancy. Quite simple, nothing too significant. Hawk blows up tank there. He's likely going to CO into it as well. This map does offer a pair of column towers. Helicopter. Interesting. Is this map even... Yeah, there's there's a set of 3 cities in the corner. Of course, this map is, you can go for a T-copter. It's like, is this map big enough for a T-copter? But there is cities off the side, so it's a good idea to go for that. Though, if you go for it too early, it may leave you vulnerable. Tank is not CO'd. CO's the T-copter? What? Okay. He CO's the T-copter, which does get max efficiency, which means plus 30, or plus 20, plus 20, and plus his own plus 10, plus 10. He spots a CO T-copter, and he's probably just as surprised as I am. There's a target-rich environment in front of him, so he can get a decent amount of energy. Does interrupt the capture of the comm tower, very nice, so Hawk will have 1 comm tower advantage. And the Beast cannot... Oh! Apparently that was just in range. Sometimes I forget how far stuff can move. Technically lost the trade, but still, at least stalled it. And did not move the T-copter forward before taking these engagements, so... Okay, wasn't planning on doing that. Tank mech, so we got a set of mechs employed in the field. Does got the comm tower 1. Falls back to the city, and since it's on top of a city that's surrounded, it's going to be very difficult to displace it. You're going to need artillery to take it out. Or take time to have the unit parked next to it. And here heading down south, battlecopter T-copter, artillery. The Beast has gotten some energy, 18 versus 17. Does finish off some of the units there. Tanks being deployed field, anti-air tank. The anti-air does deploy on side towards the airport, though the battlecopter could be sent either way. This is probably actually closer than over here. By the way, that's just a T-copter. Aircraft carrier does move off, which does provide a tiny bit of spotting. It's definitely a good idea for the Beast to pull its aircraft carrier off the temporary reports so it doesn't receive repairs from the global damage of Hawk. Interrupts capture quite significantly, hits the CO tank once again, sort of loses it against it again, but he does have a full health tank nearby. 28 energy versus 22. And he is actually dropped off on top of those cities. Tank now deployed in the field once again. Artillery in the range. The Beast does see the artillery piece, so probably should avoid it. And this mech is in range of the artillery, just out of vision range at the moment. Merged the tanks there. He merged the 1 health tank with the full health tank, so he did get a tiny bit of refunds, about 700 funds. I was gonna think there, he had 15,000 funds, he could have gone for a seaplane, but decides to go double tank. He does interrupt that capture there. And the Beast has claimed the temporary airport in the center. Battlecopter, mech, and infantry. Interrupts the capture there. The Beast is getting more CO radius. A lot of damage there, getting a lot of CO radius. A CO power charge. Deploys some of the mech and pushing it forward as well. Problem is, I guess he may not realize the artillery piece there. Now that tank's gonna be hit. Anti-air's wounded. We've got 2 full health battlecopters in front of him. Gets a shot there, but he has a full health tank in the reserve. Got a mech to hit there as well. Let's see. There's a possibility that the Beast could get his seal power this turn. Not necessarily will be able to deploy it though. Sacks that unit there. As the battlecopter gets hit, sacks that unit there. Takes out the Hawk's command tank there. And the Beast does have his superpower available. He has very little reason not to deploy it, other than the fact he is lacking infantry to utilize it. Because right now he has, what, 2 infantry and 2 mechs? Well, he'll be able to steal a decent amount of funds there. if he goes to the raid, he may just go for the specialty bonus, which he has, which does affect flares. I forgot about the fact that it does affect flares. But right now, his superpower is not going to be useful. He may need to get more units to help utilize it. Takes up that battle copter there. Hits the comm tower once again. 6 card progress remaining. Merges there, so got decent refund. And another refund there. Oh, that's what I heard. Seaplane got deployed. Anti-air does go down. Right now, Hawk has 17,000 versus 14,000. Anti-air tank. Get some good hits there. The artillery's gone. Seaplane strikes the command tank and gets finished off by the regular tank there. Battlecopter finished off that unit there. T-Copter pushes way forward. Anti-tank bike. That tank does take a bit of hits there. Does strike the T-Copter, command T-Copter. And all the cities up north has been captured. Does get trapped there, spots the anti-air. Medium tank down south. Pops the superpower there. That is superpower, so this is the full raid effect. And he moved this mech too soon. He could have raided his own property, get some money paid forward, and there as well. I don't think that superpower was worth it. He got some money paid for it, has 3,000 funds. Did at least steal some monies there. I think he could have done a little bit better. Or quite a bit better. Tank's a little bit pinned there, nothing over here to support. He needs to get a tank and medium tank over here to help stabilize that region. Battlecopter, flare, infantry. He at least denied a decent amount of income to his opponent there. 3,000 income. Counterattacks with that wounded tank. Seaplane's down 1 ammo, so needs to get loaded back up. Tank. 104 versus 107, so pretty even at the moment. Does not spot the anti-tank. Now he spots the anti-tank, which he can hit the battlecopter or the anti-air. Right now, he does have a battlecopter soon be at 8 health and a seaplane to hit the battlecopter, so having anti-tank strike the anti-air means his seaplane and battlecopter will have quite a bit more room to breathe. The medium tank can also strike it as well. Does do that. Can just use the anti-tank to strike the battlecopter. Strikes the unit there, gets a decent amount of power charge, loads himself up. 1 health mech. I'm pretty sure the mech does not get repaired inside of the T-Copter, inside of the aircraft carrier. Which is inside of the map, which is inside of the web browser, inside of the... I don't know where I'm jumping with that joke. Another battlecopter, of course, has been deployed out last turn. The medium tank gets hit pretty hard. Anti-tank can start shooting some of these units there. Does go for another anti-air, battlecopter, and bike. The no income status has been terminated. Oh, he did actually go for a second seaplane. And drops the mech there. Might as well. Medium tank flare. I think the medium tank needs to deployed on this side. Does get trapped. And use the full health one there. Use the T-Copter to block. This anti-air is in range of the tank there. He does have vision of it, so he could charge and take put some rounds into it. And maybe finally going to capture that comm tower. Seaplane can head to the left. There's a temporary airport it can utilize. Goes for a rig. He actually, I suppose if follow the seaplane would be a bit more easier trying to use a temporary port. Temporary port is a hiding spot for aircraft units. Hideable units, ground and air. Mech is struck. And the command T-Copter does take some hits there. He's at 21 energy. We've got the missile. The missile knows at because it knows where it's not. Hawker now has 20,000 income versus 17. Another battlecopter, anti-air and bike. Mech gets a strike there. Medium tank strikes the anti-air. Infantry finish off the battlecopter. Lots of good hits there. Seaplane here is out of ammo. The rig, so you need to start moving towards it. He did push forward slightly just so he can push forward the mech. Takes out the seaplane. Hawk does have a power. Probably a good idea just to pop it. And the aircraft carrier needs to get off of the temporary seaport because now he will take force some repairs. Seaplane is out of ammo, so can't interrupt the capture the temporary airport. Okay, so the anti-air. He does not have vision of the T-Copter there. Anti-air, well, it looks like it is out of range. Those at one health, so anything could take it down at this point in time. That battlecopter, these battlecopters are getting range of the missile. Hawker now has a value of 102 versus 92, so has quite an advantage. Artillery, medium tank, and battlecopter. Missile takes out the battlecopter, takes out the bike there. Battlecopter strikes tank, tank. Like hits there. And he does have enough for a superpower, so he can prep up a lot of specialty units to start seeing some zone income. And remember, or he can go for his power to give his mechs +2 move range and able to see through hiding. Sacks the anti-air under the seaplane, so has 1 ammo left. And there is a rig nearby who's trying to build a temporary seaport. Don't do that. Helicopter, tank, and infantry. It's the other mech. Both those mechs go down. The seaplane may, I was going to say, move to right there to take a shot, but probably wants to end its turn on top of the force now. Size goes back into the aircraft carrier. Tank, tank. Hawk right now has 42 energy. Trying to capture the HQ. He can pop his power and the mech can sprint and take a shot at that bike there. He has to do that or else he just straight up lose the game. Can the battlecopter hit it? Did he misplay? Oh no, the flare can get +2 move range as well. I forgot about that part. Missile decides to go on temporary seaport for hiding. Huh, it looks like the flare does spot the missile. Capture progress, 6 remaining. Should be an easy interrupt. Anti-air battlecopter infantry. Still has enough. This compound is still neutral, so Hawk's been maintaining pretty good comm tower advantage this entire game. Tank, mech, and battlecopter. Oh, what just died? I'm not sure what just... I think maybe something got deleted. Oh, he deleted the unit on top of HQ? No, that was already dead. I'm not sure what that was. I was looking off to the right, not to the left. Another power activated there. Seaplane's course down 1 ammo. And the missile is not at full health and will not get full health, but should still be adequate dealing with the battlecopters, particularly with the maxed out veterancy. Ooh, gets trapped there. Artillery is in range of the tank, but needs a spotter. Rocket. And serve 122, Hawks are 112, so still pretty even, but feels like Hawks in a better position. Probably because he's past the halfway mark. Oh, his T-Copter ran dry, that's what it was. I was not paying attention to Hawk's T-Copter. I'd assume it would be still alive, but there's, of course, the aircraft gear there. He has the temporary airport as well. Seems like everything's running low on fuel, as well as health. The missile is in range, but may not have spotting range here. And yep, did not have spotting of that battlecopter. Got a medium tank here. Anti-tank that's been alive all this time. So that's 6 health and soon at 8. Hits both those mechs quite hard. Hawks up to 32 energy now. Hits the rig. So he can't no longer rig the game. Missiles in range as well as the rocket. Rocket can only strike the anti-air though. Rocket could have just got the shot off that anti-air. Gets a good hit there. Does take out the command tank. Seaplane takes a shot on the anti-tank. One of the few things he has can take it out with impunity. So it's probably a good idea. Plus that this seaplane has definitely got its value. Does take a hit there. Flare fires on top. Mean tank shows strike the tank there. The missile's getting pretty low on ammo, and the rig is down. Anti-tank is in range of this tank, just needs a spotter. Oh, and the beast reloads himself up into a regular tank this time. Missile takes it out. Oh, use the various stuff to take out the battlecopter. Did not try to finish off the anti-tank. Tank bike. This tank is still hidden there. Strikes the mech. Pretty lackluster turn. And it's 114. So the beast is about a turn ahead now. Loads up the seaplane once again. Takes up the anti-tank there. Takes out the battlecopter. This missile is actually out of ammo. It's always a really good sign that's a good missile when it runs out of ammo. Anti-tank is on a hiding spot, but in range of artillery. Command tank versus command tank. Takes the battlecopter there. Hits the mech once again. Compound still neutral. Beast tank is still alive. Seaplane fully resupplied. Converts the 3 health and the 1 health tank together. Rocket takes out that unit. Sacks the tank there. Full health seaplane does take out the tank. Spots the artillery. Tank. takes out the beast tank there. Could probably seal the tank or the tank. I don't know why, it always seems like these two players are very well matched. I see a lot of games between the two players, and they always have a decent amount of turns behind them, so I'm always happy to cast some games, but can't cast the same players too often. Interrupts the capture. Hawk still has a 3,000 income. Seaplane does fall back, still 2 materials left. Tank. Does put the artillery and tank there. Medium tank is down to 1 ammo. Does strike the tank there. Pulls back the tank there. Medium tank. And once again, the comm tower gets interrupted quite severely. But, once again, the missile knows at, because it knows where it's not. Use the wounded seaplane there to take out the anti-air. Very nice. He is only has the missile here for anti-air, which has been very good anti-air. The problem is, he may want to get out something else. The seaplane is only at 4 health, which would be nice against it, but not that perfect answer. 5 catcher progress remaining. Make that 3. Does spot the anti-tank there, but a little bit too late. It has a target-rich environment in front of it. Rockets in range of the medium tank. Merged the 2 tanks there, so kept the efficiency on the new fresh tank. Very nice. And right now, Hawk is just having trouble closing the game. I think what really won over Beast this game so far is the missile. It has shot down so many aircraft. It has run itself ammo nearly dry twice, shooting down battlecopters. That is really impressive. And now there's a target range fire environment in front of this anti-tank. Use the anti-tank melee range. Hawk has maintained a good income advantage to target aim and +1 comm tower. But the Beast is just pushing forward a veteran tank core. And Hawk right now is just solely relying on these medium tanks coming out. But there's just way too many targets in front of them. Not to mention the veteran anti-tank. Not to mention the veteran seaplane causing issues. Medium tank and bike. He's just going straight medium tanks. He has 8,000 funds left in his bank. Join caps there. Battlecopter, anti-tank, and bike. Hawk has only 9, well, now 12 units on the field versus 17. The Beast is more vulnerable to aircraft at the moment. No, he has 1 anti-air, 1 missile. That's would be quite good. This Fog War can indeed display more than 12,000 funds. Yes. Missiles are definitely more of a Fog of War unit, plus, unless you're fighting against Mangs. And the fact that Days of Ruin's missile has now 6 range rather than 5 really makes a difference. Now it can match the range of the battlecopter. Before the battlecopter just straight up countered the missile, now the missile can somewhat contend with it while still being more expensive. And the comm tower is finally captured. Tank and rig to rig the game. Beast right now has 19 energy, Hawk has 17. missile and tank. He's going to try to counter the seaplanes with missiles. Right now, there are a battlecopter and seaplane inside of the aircraft carrier. And he does get a bit of raid there, but he is a bit exposed. But he's only been hit by one source of damage, so it is being used as bait here. Another seaplane deployed in field. Does spot the veteran anti-tank, and it's not on top of property. And remember as well, runes only provide 1-star defense, so it's no different than planes. Actually, it's equal to planes, it's just a hiding spot on the planes. Missile and anti-air. Does get trapped there, but allows the battlecraft forward. The missile knows where it's at for us, knows where it's not, and does deploy out the last seaplane possible. Get some good hits there. The plus 10% defense came in handy. Hawk has a lot of targets in front of him. He could get his power deployed out this turn. Does typically command bike there. And looks like just overall falling back. Does sack some units there, or the anti-air is wounded now and fully down. Picks up the battlecopter once again with the missile. Does spot this missile here, does strike with tank. Tank starts with forward. I think at this point in time, Hawk is just getting overran. We'll have a 5 health missile to take on a seaplane, but that's it. Duster. Anti-air tank. Cleans up the center. Seaplane strikes the tank there, and now it's on the base lock. Destroys, camps the base there, takes a missile. Artillery now locking the base there. This is base and game over now for Hawk. Medium tank bike, or mech. Does take the Duster. He can pop a power. Goes to medium tank there, pops power, and in turn, probably should have gone anti-air up there, but either way, both things get struck by the artillery, and now the rockets locking it down. Is the missile in range of the airport? Yes, it is. Helicopter tank. And Hawk does resign. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. A very good game by both players. Great job on the Beast on just not dying. Oh, another game with the Beast. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars Daisy Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn on the south side as a dark gray gauge, we got Inconspicuous. Spawn on the north side as the red the Beast, we got Jean Bat 13. The Beast, of course, is a custom CO in Tiny Wars. Standard boarding cost 330, 60, 60. All units get plus 10, plus 10. All special units, which are infantry, mechs, bikes, recons, and flares, get plus 10% offense. And if any of these special units end their turn on your opponent's property, you get to steal that income for the next turn. He has both a power and superpower. Both cost max the same 60 energy, so choose one. All units get +10/+10. All special units get punch and offense, +2 movement and vision, and can see through hidings. Of course, able to raid globally. Or get +10/+10, +20 offense, or able to raid any property, yours, your opponent's, and neutral properties for triple amount income for 3 turns. So, and when it comes to gauge, the most ouch is when danger zone strikes when you don't expect it. True. For gauge, he's of course has been buffed for the cartridge counterparts. Has standard boarding cost to 30, 60, 60. All units get +10% offense, +20% defense. Indirect units get additional indirect units. Naval units in the seal zone get additional 20% offense. I don't know why the plus off the side just sort of distracted me. And this CO unit himself get additional 20% offense. And of course, when it comes to apply that all globally, and all indirect units get +2 indirect range. This map is a 3-base map, 1 airport, pair of comm towers. Comm towers can be captured, but if you lose a comm tower, you probably already lost the HQ. Now we got a first spike on the field. Gauge, since he gets plus 20% offense on his seal unit, he could basically be loaded up in any unit. While his artillery will be supercharged if he gets loaded up into that, it's still probably best to be loaded up on a tank or battlecopter. Probably just tank. In addition, you know your opponent's airport side of the map, so you could focus heavy anti-airs and missiles on this side as well. A missile in some of these forests or cities would be very nice. Tank and infantry. First tank on field, you like to CO it. Recon and bike. Do now the first artillery piece pulled in the field. In total, his artillery piece will have plus 50% firepower in total if he seals it, including the veterancy from it. Actually, no. With veterancy, it would be plus 70% firepower. Quite a significant amount of firepower in one artillery piece. Oh, does delete the gunboat there. He's going to seal that tank next turn. Artillery, infantry goes heavy amount of artillery. Remember, he is not Grit. Grit has everything is all of his effect passively globally no matter what. Well, Gauge only has this stuff when in the seal zone and during the superpower. Hawk or the Beast does load himself up into a recon, which is a special unit there, so he will have what plus 50% extra firepower. Infantry, mech, and anti-air. I do have artillery on top of the comm tower. And the tank, his command tank is in the center, so you can see the artillery here gets a decent amount of firepower. Takes out that unit there, gets a bit of raid. You can see no income status there, so it does reduce this by minus 1,000 and just puts it directly in the bank. Does not put 1,000 there. But the beast is pushing pretty far over here. There is an artillery piece in range of some infantry, but that's about it. That's really about it. There's nothing much there. This tank here will need to get over here and start providing some fire support immediately. Gets 10 energy there. If all these get a battlecopter or duster over here, he does have 24,000. He could go for a full bomber. Does interrupt the capture quite significantly. And 24 energy. We do now battlecopter, tank, artillery, and infantry. Does spot a bit of everything. The beast does get a strike on the artillery. Artillery does go down, and Gage's tank does take a strike. And does get sealed income from the comm tower. The beast is pushing pretty far over here. And even making an attempt at the HQ has 9 health, so 2 more turns, possible victory. Yeah, the Gage, when you get more tanks and our battle cops over here to just get a response force as quickly as can, is our artillery is a little bit too slow to respond. Does take out the HQ capture unit there. The artillery could go to the forwards here for defense, yep. Oh, the income from the HQ has been stolen. So COs didn't get paid last turn. His personal wages. That's clearly where that means. Oh, I didn't realize he has launch of power. Now he has +2 movement range on all infantry. He's able to get +2 vision range on all of the units as well. And not to mention global raid only on his opponent's properties though. Yeah, we gets a good out of spawning. Does take up the command tank there, though he is in range of artillery. It's no longer the auxiliary. Got tank and mech in range and a battlecopter as well. And you can see multiple raids there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, it looks like there's 5 raids this turn, so Gage lost 5,000 income this next turn. Well, the beast does get paid for immediately. He has 38,000. Go for something big like a bomber. Bomber, anti-air, tank, and bike. Gage has to stop the HQ capture. Could use the anti-air for that. And a lot of things in range with artillery. He tries to capture the HQ, takes the anti-air. Now the counterattacks can come in quite hard. Looks like this one property here will be flipped, but everything else will take an extra time. Tank, anti-air, infantry. Oh, that and the property sale is still despicably neutral. And the beast does go ahead and fall back. Beast right now is 132 versus 101, so he has a pretty good advantage at the moment, about turn and a half. Even capturing that property, how annoying. This tank's going to be delayed 2 turns to stop that capture. Battlecopter, tank, and flare. Wait. How does the beast have 500 income? Has this entire game been high funds with 1,500? Haven't I not been counting that? I think I may have overlooked something. This might be a high funds game. I have not been paying attention to that the entire game. Oops. I'm an idiot. Looks like this property will be flipped next turn. Artillery or rocket, tank, infantry, infantry. If this turns to 29,000, then it is high funds. Or... what's the funding on this game? What? 700? Sorry. Income 1,000. What is the funding? I'm really confused. What is providing this odd funding? It says income 1,000. Is there some sort of rules set I can click on this? I don't even... funds, income... yeah, I don't know. Sorry. I just realized the funding may be really weird this game. How is he getting plus 700? Does get a bit of a raid there. But Gage is going down by 1,000. How's the beast's income is weird? Because Gage's income's going down by 1,000. Is this some sort of handicap on him? Is there a handicap on him? Sorry, I think I'm missing some things. Let's hit the battlecopter. Gage almost has enough power for a superpower. He has enough for a superpower now, but his command tank is pretty wounded, so a good chance he will get picked off next turn. Medium tank anti-air infantry. Bomber makes a good strike there in the anti-air. The beast right now is at 25 energy. Does hit there in the anti-air. It looks like this anti-air is in range of the bomber. Well, movement range, not necessarily. Oh, it's still in attack range. It does finish off Gage's tank there, or command tank. Does see the medium tank there. Does hit the tank. Hits the beast's command recon there, knocks it out. Goes around into the mech, hits the bike there, takes it out, counterfacts into the anti-air. Infantry, artillery, infantry, and battlecopter. That's a good round into the anti-air. So we got another anti-air in reserve. "27 properties versus 23. Can I click on this? Nope, that just pulls up the player. I'm just wondering. So that leaves 2,700 extra. So does he have like 1,100 income? Does he have the bomber there? Some rounds there. Tank, anti-air, and artillery. This shot there. Hits the artillery there. This artillery is down to 1 ammo. The rocket's not in range, but not in vision range at the moment. No missile to engage the battlecopter. A lot of these artillery pieces taking quite a bit of hits there. But they should get a nice little power benefit thanks to the gauge's CO zone. Bomber heading down south, the winter. Tank, mech, and battlecopter. Get some good hits there. The artillery can still get that radar tank strike that. That artillery piece could have got a shot off on the bike. Guess he didn't want to use his last ammo onto it, so he moved on top of the city. Recon, infantry, tank, and battlecopter last turn. Let's go ahead and raid some more incomes there. It hits that artillery piece as well. Rocket struck there, so probably should have took the shot rather than moving it there because basically went down for free. Mech, bike, and bomber. Gauge now has another superpower. Does get battlecopter there. Rocket does strike the mech. What's around the tank there? I probably will just move it there and just try to trap it there. Does get trapped there, but does use it to barrage that infantry in there with the artillery. Tank, anti-air, and bike. And not finish off the battlecopter there. Tank's down to 30% health, battlecopter's down to 2%. Steals more monies from the city. The beast right now has 0 energy stored on up. It is building a temporary airport there, but likely will just simply throw the mech inside and push it forward. Tank, mech, tank, battlecopter. Use the full health battlecopter to take out that 1 health tank. Probably just use the battlecopter for that. Anti-air, infantry, bike, and battlecopter. And he did actually fully build that temporary airport. Battlecopter, bike, mech, and rocket. Does get a nice little recon pass there. Spawns a whole bunch of bombers. At this point in time, he probably should just build out a fighter. You know, he has 18,000 funds, so he'll consume all of his monies for that. Merge there, so got a little extra funds. Not enough for another infantry in there. Missile, bike. Rocket, rocket, mech, and tank. tank bike. Okay, so this is superpower. Oops, hit my microphone. Mech, rocket, and tank. So the beast is going for a heavy number of rockets. Recon does get a nice little pass there again. As the game has gone to a bit of a standstill, the rocket or missile applied this much range, +2 with the superpower. Steals a bit of monies there. Interrupts that capture. So I just got a chain of rockets and mechs. This may be the turn for a superpower. Probably not just yet. Maybe the following turn will be a time for the superpower. Pops the superpower. Does take out the battlecopter. Strikes the command recon. Finish off that recon there, so no more CO zone aura. Battlecopter pushes forward, does take out that unit there. ATR takes out another battlecopter. ATR strikes the bomber. Battlecopter on battlecopter. Takes out the rest of it with a missile. Well, I could have done that entirely with a missile. Tank, recon, tank. Of course, none of these rockets now in range. CO's the tank up north. Couple quick picks there, getting a decent amount of energy. Got a fighter now on the field. Good hits there, takes another bomber. The beast is starting to lose quite a bit of stuff for now. Gauge started after 37 energy as well. Artillery, infantry, and rocket. And let's see how things push right forward before it takes all the shots of his rockets, looks like. Bomber almost takes out the anti-air. Another anti-air. And Red wants to end the game's draw. Don't think Gage is in a good position. He's in a position where he probably doesn't want to end it in a draw. Excellent counterattack there. Gage is starting to get a lot of momentum, able to pick off a good number of these rockets. Trying to flip that property there. Beam takes straight forward, hits another rocket there. Hit that same rocket again, and hits the other one as well. The beast right now disintegrating. And the beast has now resigned. It's Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I do need to use the restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I'm back. Yep, that's what we do. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. So on the south side as the blue no CO. We have no CO guy. So on the north side as the red Will, we got RE32. When it comes to COs, Will of course is unchanged to the cartridge counterpart. Standard boarding cost 230, 60, 60. All units get plus 10, plus 10. Zero ground direct units get plus 20 in offense. And of course, for the super part, plus 2 in range. No CO is no CO. But, it says boarding cost, I never really thought about it. Boarding cost 0, does that mean the unit can still be loaded by CO, or that just means it's just a placeholder just because clicking on the unit, on the pop-up. So I sort of wonder about that. Either way, this is a 3-base map, 1 airport, 1 seaport. And of course, the number of properties already captured, so including a bunch of temporary airports, both flyers immediately fly a bike. I wonder. Oops, I actually hit a button. Can I see if a player can seal a unit here? Doesn't look like it. Let's see if I can do it on Will. I'm not sure if observer mode I can. I don't think I can do that from Berserker mode. Or... Oh well, never mind. Starting to capture the airport now. And we do have now a tank deployed by the Snow CO guy. So, generally, simply put, playing Final CO is a clearly big handicap. So Will just has straight up a huge advantage of just having good, probably this tank that's going to be CO'd relatively soon. Bike, mech, and infantry. Will just CO his tank there. Of course, has a nice extra bit of firepower. Battlecopter now full in the field. Infantry, and bike. Will probably need to counter out with an anti-air and or duster. Not enough for a duster, so anti-air. I think as well, if Will charges forward and hits that tank, he will be in range of the battlecopter down south. So, anti-air, infantry, just parks on top of a city. That's probably a good idea. Will's gonna get a pretty good capture wave next turn. Oh, doesn't drop that one. And interrupt that one. It's gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but just 3 next turn. Will can charge forward if his tank hit this tank there, but the anti-air will just soon follow and fight coverage and retaliation. Gets it down to 1 health. Tank, and infantry. And does strike Will's command tank there. But the anti-air should be able to retaliate, and there's also 2 tanks here, so Will's starting to lose some ground in the middle. Gets a bit of energy from that, 26 energy. Seeing it here. It's the capping squad. Now got a trio tanks in the center. Will has only 1 tank that's healthy enough to contest with. The other tanks could push his way forward. Got tank, battlecopter, mech. No CO guy feels in a bit stronger position. Else has more valor in the field. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Does have infantry in there. Battlecopter push forward, not being aggressive just yet. Battlecopter, tank, anti-air, and mech. Does merge the 2 tanks there. Got a mech. Battlecopter, tank, and mech with another anti-air. Down south, this tank needs to get down there, start protecting. Good headway up here. The tank does have nice escorting infantry, so the tank up north is having trouble. Bike, battlecopter, mech, and another tank. Pulls back some units there. Keeping distance away from this tank. Good kills there. Does trap this tank down there, making it a bit more easy for Red to deal with that tank. But there's also another tank still here. But we've got more tanks and mechs over here. Artillery, battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Tank, battlecopter, anti-air, and mech. merges that infantry quite a bit there. Gets the first strike on both those tanks. Luckily, the missile platform did absorb a bit of damage from blue here. And there is the battle copter up here. Could get a good strike on these. Anti-air can only reach so far. Up north, another battle copter, more tanks here by Will. Will's starting to stabilize both the flanks, while the center is still a bit of a stalemate. No CO guy is doing quite well with no CO. He does find a spot there where the battle copter is going to be safe in anti-air. Tank, bike, and battlecopter. And Will's pushing forward quite nicely down south. Tank, battlecopter, artillery. Blue has quite a bit of force here. One anti-air to deal with the battlecopter, so if blue or red's able to strike an anti-air, then he has a bit more free reign with it. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Additionally, it's 25,000 income versus 26,000 income. Finding some good angles over here. Strikes the artillery. So the anti-air will strike it for quite a bit of damage in return. Blue's just charging way forward in the center. Still one despicable neutral property, and that'd be the city in the top right corner. Takes out one battlecopter, takes out two battlecopters. Pops a superpower, got enough power charge for those kills. Plus super range is going to be critical for these mechs, able to sprint across the land, strike these units. Both tanks does finish off the tank. There's another kill there. And with that, Blue's largely lost quite a bit of momentum over here. One property may still be flipped. Nope, does not get flipped. And looks like he's just playing a bit more defensively up north, which makes sense. Tank, battlecopter, bike. Will's command tank has quite a bit of damage there. And will go down, so probably see the tank or the battlecopter up north. Up north, Blue is making some great headway. Another tank. Battlecopter, tank, and bike. Capture the city up north, now that have equal income. CO's tank over here, and pulling back these forces. Great gain sounds south for red though. Will is also in the battlecopter. Good hits there. Does strike another tank. Next is some good hits there as well. Good counterattack down south, though some of these properties are starting to be flipped. Anti-air gets struck. Tank, bike, and battlecopter. Good shots up there, stabilizing this flank, though he's starting to go into his properties here. Does not take the battlecopter there. The battlecopter is taking out the rest of the tanks. He drops that capture down south. More tanks being reinforced in the center, which is a little bit... needs probably anti-air to go down here. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Does get some good damage. Tank, anti-air, and tank. Instead of 107 versus 92, so Will's slightly behind. But here comes a pretty sizable counterattack. Though nothing much to stop all these battlecopters. Another anti-air back here. Anti-air will strike anti-air. Will has enough for a superpower that could be very useful. A +2 range. Good hits in the center. Does not take out that mech there. Tank, battlecopter, bike, and anti-air. Does strike the tank down south. Battlecopter does strike the tank. Tank does hit the mech. Hits the battlecopter, infantry, battlecopter, tank, and tank. Let's finish off that battlecopter there. Got 2 tanks up here, which one cause a bit of trouble. Of course, you can always pop his superpower next turn. Bit of a join. That tank, let's see, that is a miss on C, so mechs cannot go on that tile to hit it, so only 2 tiles here. Sacks the mech there, puts some rounds into the battlecopter. Right now, Will does 108. No CO guy has 77. Tank, battlecopter, bike, and mech. Joins there to get the veteran C on a full health anti-air. And now got a full bomber by Will with bike and mech support. The properties are now even 26,000, so they have flipped the cities in the corner. Duster, mech, and anti-air. A little bit of stalemate, going a little bit slowly. Will does have a superpower you can start edging forward with a threat of +2 movement range. Tank, tank, tank. Some hits there, trying to flip some property in the center now. T-copter, straight forward. That battlecopter could have moved back to a temporary report to get some healing going. Infantry, bike, tank, and battlecopter. Anti-air, medium tank, and tank. And pops a superpower, so it looks like now he's going to try to end the game. Gets a good shot there in the tank. Tank on tank. Gets a good hit there. Battlecopter to strike the bike there. Takes the bike entirely. Anti-air finish off the battlecopter. The bomber still exists, which is in range of this medium tank. Nukes a regular tank. Hits the anti-air. And regular tank hits the regular tank. Finish off the regular tank there. Dust Turtle could get a hit on the bomber, but there's some stuff in front of it. Finish off that bike there. Infantry, tank, tank, and battlecopter. And no CO guy has resigned. This is Android saying, keep watching, and on to the next replay. My voice is starting to go out, so I'll probably have time for one more replay for tonight. Let's try to make it a good one. Forward turn. Another 24 turn. '28 turn, so we'll probably may do that one. One more I have eyed up. '24 turn. So let's take a look at that 28 turn one. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. Spawn on the right side is the Green Hawk with a Siler SK. Spawn on the left side is the Yellow Isabella. We got a foreign name. When it comes to COs, Hawk is of course a custom CO for Days of Ruin. Standard boarding cost, 2 radius, 30, 70, 120, 120 maximum energy. All used by 20% offense plus 10% defense. And of course, at 50 energy, can apply the Black Wave effect, and for 100 energy, get the Black Storm effect. Isabel is nerfed from the Cartridge counterpart, has standard boarding cost, 2 radius, 30, 60, 60. All units in her radius CO zone get plus 3% offense, plus 10% defense, like Hawk. And of course, for a superpower, all units get plus 2 range, and all indirect units get additional max range. This map is a 3-base map, 1 airport. Strong side, weak side mechanic. The weak side does have some defendable terrain around here with a number of mountains to hide behind and good hiding spots. Compound on the weak side as well, not to mention the airport. So if you're going to send E-tiers, you should send over to the top and bottom. HQ is a little bit center, so can be captured. There's not any real big threat. I haven't seen, it's on the strong side, so it has a lot of reinforcements to protect it, plus defendable terrain near the HQ for indirects. Double bike from Isabella and base skip. Hawk did go for double bike as well, but of course he didn't have the other base, so no base skip. Bike infantry, so he has 2,000 funds. Recon, bike, and infantry. I don't think Isabel's gonna load herself up to a recon, though it's not unheard of. Hawk is pushing forward with the bikes into the center of the map. Got a tank there. He's probably gonna CO the tank. Could CO it next turn on top, or a follow-on turn on top of the HQ. Oh, tank and double base skip. She's probably gonna seal that. And likely Hawk's gonna seal his tank next turn. Tank, infantry, infantry. Tank, infantry, infantry. Does get trapped there. This map also has an odd number of properties on the map. This map is odd in direction, so there's a city directly in the center that has no counterpart. Oxio tank push 4, got more tank artillery up north. Seals the tank there. Does have been Hawk's command tank there, has enough escort around her own tank as well. Tank, infantry, infantry. Takes the recon in one shot, but now he is very vulnerable to Isabel's command tank. He does have a reinforcing tank though. Spike can probably move over here on top of this road or on top of the city to get a strike on the Spike there, and then Isabel's tank can take a shot from the city. Finish it off. Could interrupt that capture. Does not decide to interrupt the capture, just gonna surround her own tank there to keep it alive. So with our cast vision, we know there's only one tank in range. Which, with this 5 health tank and this tank here, could potentially pick it off. Tank, anti-air, mech. Infantry, tank, infantry, and battlecopter. As well as getting a great amount of energy shot to 42 already. Finish off the tank as well up to 51. Mech, tank, tank. Battlecopter tank. 6,000 funds remaining. Recon infantry. She has enough for her superpower now. Whether or not she should use it next turn is another matter. Anti-air probably should stay close to down south since where the airport is. Maybe putting it right here would have been better. Medium tank anti-air bike. Let's pick off that infantry unit there. Tank will finish off the infantry unit. Gets hit there. Good chance it's going to be CO power next turn, but maybe not. No CO power. Medium tank at Flare and Mech. Right now she ends the turn of 106,000. Hawk starts turn of 89. Does have 1,000 more income. Oh, it launches a black wave. So a little bit of global damage there. Now that anti-air down south is pretty wounded, and send the 9th health one down south as well. Probably should have kept it close by this battlecopter up north. Pulls back her command tank all the way back to the HQ. Looks like she's going to try to lure Hawk in over here, then pop a super for plus range for a bit of an ambush. Anti-air and medium tank. Does get trapped there. It's a tank. Bike, battlecopter, anti-air, and flare. Five capture marks remaining, so that little bit extra damage was an interrupt. So trying to posture her units forward, trying to eye for a good superpower, but right now Hawk has quite a bit of value over her. He's been taking a lot of hits, not really retaliating all too much. Tank, mech, T-copter, and infantry. Medium tank gets struck twice, but not yet thrice. Pops another black wave there, so it's now down 1% health. Does get trapped up there. There's quite a bit of force up here. A duster or battlecopter could be useful. A regular tank as well. Anti-air would be decent enough. There is an anti-air lurking in the woods or in the city. I think Isabel needs to pop her superpower this turn and then push forward. She's severely behind now. She's been taking a lot of free hits. No superpower this turn. About to make do for our CO zone then. Decent enough counterattack, but can't be allowing this column tower to get flipped. Anti up north. Tank recon down south. Does fully surround that comm tower. That's a pretty good number of battlecopters. She does have a good number of anti-airs. Anti-tank, medium tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Right now it's 27,000 versus 22,000. Looks like there's going to be no CO power. So she will be forfeiting contact, so she's going to have +10/+10 global against her, which is not good. Mech. Tank our anti-air in mech. Counter gets flipped. Talking a lot of good strikes there. Medium tank does scout out the regular tank. Battlecopter, anti-air. Does pop a superpower there. A lot of targets up here. Does hit the one top of the comm tower. Hits the bike. Tanks, backline tanks are sprinting the way forward. Medium tank takes out a regular tank. Anti-air manages to strike a battlecopter. Medium tank strikes command tank, who has 37 energy. Make that 0. Takes out that unit there. Artillery's in range, hits the medium tank. Anti-air hits the battlecopter. Spots everything there. Hits the anti-air as well. Anti-air. So the anti-air there takes the medium tank. That's exactly what she needs to get back in the game. Not instead of 121,000 versus 98. Greatly turned the game around. But North is still a number of assets for her to deal with, but she should be able to stabilize. The double compact still pulls a threat. And Hawk still has 20,000 income versus 21. So she needs to start blitzing through some properties. Let's hit that capturing squad. Takes out a couple more of these units there. Like that, most of the northern threat is gone. The artillery gets hit there. Pulls back some tanks and tosses properties. Takes out the battlecopter. Takes another battlecopter. Bike, and tank. Anti-air gets struck. So there's a full health anti-air nearby, so you can his weapon easily take out some more of those battlecopters. That bike does take a fair amount of damage, but there's a tank nearby to provide some fire support. Anti-tank pushes its way forward, finally making its way to the front line. Medium tank, her recon, and medium tank. So this battle copter strikes and takes out the artillery. Takes a good number of those units over there. Hits the medium tank thrice. Battlecopter up north. Artillery bike and another mech. Hawk's turn. Now starts turn for 89. Isabel in turn to 121, and she still has behind by 7,000 income. There's a good number of those mechs there. But now there's 2 tanks hit that tank, although one of them is severely wounded. Recon goes down. Back up tricks the tank there, hits the anti-air. Flare, medium tank, and artillery. Good number of hits there. Isabel is at 56 energy. Battlecopter, bike. Battlecopter, medium tank, artillery, infantry. Did not try to get enough power charge for a superpower, but she's just overall pulling back from the southern flank because of the amount of medium tanks there. Likely a mech on the space relatively soon, based on that T-copter position. Mech anti-air artillery. Isabella could pop her superpower next turn. There is artillery in range of the recon that should at least do at least 4 damage in order to get the superpower to be thrown out. Or not, she wants to deploy one out this turn is another matter. Anti-air artillery infantry. Does not pop the superpower. Trying to clear out some of these northern units there. Still got this tank nearby, but there's plenty of stuff to deal with all those forces. And Isabel's going to make another push towards the center now. Hawk has quite a bit of forces here, but if Isabel pushes this way, they're going to have trouble responding. They're pretty slow. Hawk needs to start getting some forces out over here. Does have eventually 2 anti-tank, which could be parked on top of HQ for a very good emplacement. And his tank pushed its way forward, getting some good power charge there. Hawk's in turn of 157, and Isabel who now has 136. Pops superpower immediately. Some rounds of the medium tanks. Bikes to gun down the anti-tank a little bit. Medium tank on the medium tank. There's another medium tank there. Bike hits the anti-tank once again. Does get trapped there. The gamble there does pay off. The one of those things now in range to artillery, but does hit the anti-air up there. Hit the artillery twice. Finish off the anti-tank there. Anti-here, finish off the medium tank. Mech, medium tank, and bike. Medium tanks are pushed way forward, though one's in range for some artillery. Tank. Medium tank and anti-air. Battlecopter gets shot down. Medium tanks are getting hit pretty hard there. Artillery in range of that infantry unit there, but it's just infantry unit on top of a mountain. And this comm tower has still not been flipped back, so Hawk still has +7% offense and defense basically this entire game. And trying to flip some properties up here. Multiple properties now being flipped. Tank anti-air flare. Hawk is severely behind, 132 versus just 75. Battlecopter, artillery, anti-air, artillery. Two health anti-air hits the battlecopter, could have used the full health one. He does get a good strike there. Anti-air, bike. 100 instant for 150,000. Hawk has 79. These are some of the outlying units. Interrupts the capture. Battlecopter, infantry, artillery. Right now, then comes 25 versus 24. That was a good trap there. Does strike the anti-air. Rig. Battlecopter, artillery, and base skip. Instead of 169,000 for 79, has over twice the value now. Medium tank, mech, and infantry, and with another battlecopter. It does flip the comm tower back. Now she has an income advantage by a fair margin. Bomber. Bomber and infantry and double base skip and serve 180,000 versus 91, and Hawk does resign there. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that will be my last replay tonight, so everyone, thank you for watching, have a good evening,